everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. We ain't stopping for nothing. I'm your host, John, and with me this week, yelling already, is Scott.
Hello.
We also have Ryan.
Yep, it's me. I'm back on the menu like the senior breakfast special. Hit me up. I'm back on the podcast.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am.
And we have Michael.
On the low-calorie section.
Is that a euphemism?
Nope.
Nothing.
I thought we were talking about menus. I went to menu. That's the only other section. Appetizers? Am I the appetizer?
You could be like the fun and flirty finger food section. Like, you know, when you go to Applebee's and they try to sell you like some quirky kind of buffalo wing platter, like the bee's knees.
That's the appetizers,
That's
dude.
appetizers.
No,
Yeah.
What is this word? What is this word? I've never heard of these appetizers.
You're thinking of hors d'oeuvres.
Do they not have appetizers in Texas?
No, all they serve here for these appetizers that you're saying, they bring out a big, giant jalapeno stuffed with cheese and like barbecue beef, and you just have to shove it down your throat like a snake swallowing a small mouse, and then you pat your tummy, you say good eating, and then you order your fucking Longhorn strip steak or whatever.
Oh boy. So Scott, what menu section would you be?
The drinks, baby.
All right.
Love the margarita, the gin and tonic.
That's a good one.
What's some good colorful drinks? Some nice fun times.
Like strawberry daiquiris.
Cosmo.
Yeah. It'd be a Cosmo. I mean, I've had a Cosmopolitan.
They're good.
Yeah. No, wait, I had something else. I can't remember the name of it.
You had the Metropolitan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Or the Neapolitan, maybe.
It's this one thing that's just whiskey, and then there's a cherry in it, and it's like something old people drink, and I can't remember what it's called.
Is it a whiskey sour?
No,
Old-fashioned?
that's the name.
Old-fashioned?
Scott, what you're thinking of is a grandma's guntra. That's what those are called, I think.
The section of the menu that I am is the back of the placemat when you go to Steak and Shake, where you play tic-tac-toe.
Hell yes.
Everyone colors all over you.
Is it
Absolutely.
Manhattan? Manhattan.
The Manhattan, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You gotta be
There
at
you
least
go.
40 to drink that.
Glad to hear that Scott is now officially 70 years old and still on the podcast.
Still in the game, baby, wow.
Yeah, loving those video games, even though he's a fucking
Relic.
in the retirement home. Good for you. You excited for the fucking Switch, waving your hands around? You're not gonna
Still playing Wii games.
gonna dislocate something trying to play Breath of the Wild?
They help for my arthritis, so...
It's savage.
Fair enough.
Scott's only gonna buy the Switch if it has like built-in shuffleboard or what's the other game that old people play on cruises? I don't know.
Try not to fall off the ship.
Complain constantly.
Wow, we are savage. Or
Two
at least
of us
John
are from
is,
Florida, and we do
Yeah.
not like old people.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and it's not like we're gonna fucking offend our fucking octogenarian fans. Like,
Whatever.
sorry, Mima. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Don't box us in.
I love you.
We're a podcast for everyone.
we are,
Except
old people.
This podcast is officially ageist.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Millennials only.
I can't believe
Teen Zone.
I cannot believe that Video Game Choo Choo is officially video games first racist against 80-year-olds podcast.
Finally.
I don't know if we're the first.
Yeah, we're
I think
definitely
all
not the first.
podcasts are, just by nature.
Okay, so I have this weird story to tell about my grandfather.
This will
Tried
be
to download
good.
This American Life and couldn't figure it out.
Close. So, I remember when he first got a laptop,
All right.
he also wanted to be able to like listen to songs on it.
Right.
So he was like, John, install iTunes on it and let me download some music onto there. And I was like, all right, sure, I'll help you with that. So I install iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
I set him up so he can, buy whatever music he wants.
You didn't give him like a Napster account or anything? Like,
I mean,
hook him up with a torrent client?
Get him hooked up on LimeWire.
God. So
when did all this happen? 2006?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Napster?
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
Anyway, so I get him all set up, and he sits down, and I'm like, here, you type in what you want to look up on the search bar. So I thought he was just gonna look up like the name of, because he listens to music from like the 40s, like literally he listens to fucking like crooners and shit. So I thought he was just gonna like actually type in the name of the artist or something like that. Instead, he just types in oldies but goodies. And the first thing that comes up is like this fucking like gross out like white rapper who's just like all of his fucking songs are just like eating pussy, coming hard, and like my grandfather's like, what's going on? And I'm just like, you need to no, grandpa, please.
Nice.
Grandpa, you've doomed us all.
He just wanted Golden Oldies Pete.
Like poor, because I'm guessing it's because like he like in his car he would have like Sirius XM, and whenever he would be on like the 40s or 50s, it would be like oldies but goodies station.
Hell yeah.
And I thought that was what he typed in, but no, he pulled up fucking pube mongler or something like that. Like,
sorry, what? Pube mongler?
Pube mongler.
Pube mongler. Pube mongler, one who mongles pubes.
I guess so.
The worst part about this is that I'm not even quite sure what the verb mongol typically describes. I assume to be like to covet or like to fondle or maybe
you don't
to
want
like
to
kind of.
You don't want your pubes mongled. You don't want to figure it out.
I don't think I want anything on me mongled, but I think pubes would definitely be pretty like at least in the top 3 on that list. I don't think I'd want my eyeballs mongled either because then I wouldn't be able to see. I would assume. If anybody in the audience knows what the word mongled means, please write into the show. I am a sad man without a dictionary, and I need your help.
Mongled sounds like an old WWF wrestler.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Mongler.
Mongler.
We want to create a safe space, so this is a no mongling zone, please.
I apologize. Alright, so let's move on to video games, folks. It's been a big week for games. How about we start off with not the big one? Ryan, why don't you take a seat and wait your fucking turn?
Yeah, Grandpa will take a seat for now, so...
Are you gonna look up really bad things on iTunes while you do it?
I may look up the definition of Mongol, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, please do. I'm sure a lot of people are on the edge of their seats. Like whoever listens to this while driving, they can't look up what it means while they're driving. They're pissed as shit right now. Scott.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. I've been a little bit behind on the games. I've been going through a backlog here. I just stuck like a big pile of games in front of my TV so I won't forget them. I finished XCOM 2 a little while ago. I think I mentioned that on the last podcast. But since then, I've been playing Far Cry 4.
Okay.
I never touched it. I played Far Cry 3, which I didn't hate. I didn't like it that much. And then I played Blood Dragon, which is incredible. One of the best games that they've put out. And
Blood Dragon's really fun.
And Far Cry 4 is confusing to me. It's very strange in the way it handles morality, but I guess it does it in the same way a lot of big popular games do, where they just like put a gun in your hand and now you're the main character. You did it.
Sure.
But they're also trying to tell this personal story between these characters who are all warlords and like people leading resistances, and this son who's in the middle of all of it, who can for some reason just murder people, even though before, as far as we know, before he even came to Kirat, he never held a gun in his life. So it's really strange and dissonant, and I really hated the first like 5 hours I played of it, but I'm getting deeper in, and I'm actually enjoying it a little more. I met some stoners who like my character, the second he meets them, is like very, no thanks bro, I don't want any drugs, but now they're like his regular hookup. so that's been pretty fun. It's it's a Ubisoft open world game. You can't really expect that much, especially from one that was made in 2014, I think, or released then. I think it's 2014, but it's been a real experience. I'm thinking about writing something up after I do it, after I finish it.
Okay,
cool.
That's mainly what I've been playing. Me and a couple people, friends of the site, have gotten back into WWE 2K17.
Oh Christ!
Boo! Boo!
Me, Corky, and Andy have started our own little wrestling league just between us. And
perfect.
I mean, the only person who I think is actually performing something like, look, I normally will not condone things that Mike Casamano does, but he made Strong Bad like picture perfect in WWE
really good
2K17.
Bad, yeah.
And not only did he do that, but then he also made Il Cartographer, which is like a reference to a Strong Bad email, which is very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, for once I will condone Corky just this once.
Corky's condoning.
Yeah. Whenever Corky gets into something, he gets into something hard and made like, we popped on one day and he was like, hey guys, I have 4 new characters to show you guys, and they were Strong Bad. And he made a really good one that was Pitbull, and then when he came out, the name tag said Pitbull, and right under that, @Pitbull.
Yeah. Dale.
Yeah.
So, it's just been us 3 making really silly stuff. I don't think we're ever going to do anything like a video or something. Maybe we will, but,
Sure.
It's been a fun time.
We need to just have fun for ourselves sometime. Come on, not everything has to be a fucking video.
Yeah.
Record it
Sometimes
constantly.
yeah.
Never stop recording yourself.
Sometimes we just need to have fun. John desperately pleads to avoid having a WWE video on the site.
That too.
Whatever. It's an important place to draw the line.
I'm gonna be honest. It didn't even cross my mind, but now that you mention it, you're right. Like, thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wish to talk about?
Oh, that's about all I've been playing.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm alive.
I'm managing.
Yeah. I'm there.
I get you.
I'm here.
All right, that's good. That's
This
good.
is
Keep going.
This is a picture of this cat.
Which
Nice.
one?
I don't know. It's just an orange kitty on the internet.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's always good to see an image of a cat.
It is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, what games have you been playing recently?
Well, I was actually cat sitting for a while.
Really?
Were you sitting that cat, or was it just a cat?
No, this was legitimately just a cat on my laptop. Just popped up on Twitter.
Okay.
But I was not. I was sitting other cats, and that's why I wasn't on last week. It was nice to kind of get away and not be on Twitter, and not be anywhere near the internet because they have really slow internet there. So, but I did bring my PC with me and just watched movies and played games.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Good call.
It was very good. It was a very good idea on my part if I want to toot my own horn there.
Nice.
Yeah. But I've been playing a lot of games, and I haven't been able to talk about what games I've been playing for, since last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
So I'll just go through them real quick. I've played a little bit more of Civ 5, because I was able to buy during the Steam sale some of the DLC that I didn't have. So I'm closing in on about 500 hours with that.
Nice.
So that's been fun, and I didn't realize the DLC changed as much as it did.
Yeah, did you get the Gods and Kings DLC or
Whichever one adds diplomacy.
I think that might be. I think that's Brave New World actually.
Yeah, I think
because
it's
Gods
the
and
last
Kings.
one.
Yeah, Gods and Kings adds religion. The Brave New World basically like overhauls the entire game. So
yeah, religion was already in there. So yeah, it definitely changes. I mean, it adds new countries to play as, or nations, or whatever they call them, and then adds this entire like UN kind of diplomatic thing, which can add or take away bonuses. It's actually kind of like, I don't love things that make that game go longer, because that game is pretty long as it is. So for things like religion, I essentially just ignore it unless I want to use it. Whereas I can't ignore this because it's a big fucking screen you have to navigate. But I like what was added, and enough to where I've played almost another, I've added almost another 100 hours to that game just because of that.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
it's also just a game you can just play and do other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Along that theme, I finally was able to buy Rise of Nations.
Ooh.
Which is a game I've wanted since it came out and just have never gotten around to it, or, for a while Steam didn't have games like that, so I haven't played a ton of it, but it is a lot like, I want to say Age of Empires. Is that a game? Did I just make that up?
No, that's a game.
That's real.
Okay. It's a lot like that combined with like Risk. So you have like a world map, and you choose where to invade, and then it goes in, and then you just have like a typical RTS base building map with like its own elements to it, its own like expansion elements to it.
Yeah.
I need to play more of it. I want to play more of it, but that game's awesome. I love those kinds of games. So
I haven't had a good fucking Risk game in a while. Now you mention it, God, I want to play Risk again. Can we just play Risk?
Let's just play that Xbox 360 Risk with cats.
Oh, that was such a good version of Risk.
Risk Factions.
Yeah,
that's what that one was.
I think it's out on Steam.
Maybe. I think that's right.
We'll look it up later.
Or there are other ways to play Risk.
Yeah, there's also a PS4 one that's like hyper realistic. I only saw screenshots.
Finally, hyper realistic Risk.
Perfect.
Thank God.
Lasts 12 hours longer. Great. Hyper realistic Monopoly. If you lose, someone comes into your house and takes everything away from you. Oh, I lost Baltic Avenue. Oh, there goes my TV. Anyways, I played like the first chapter of Orwell, and Niall was like completely right about that game when he talked about it on our Game of the Year stuff. Like,
sure.
It makes you think about social media a little bit differently and how you're perceived differently. I haven't jumped back in because it is a game that I want to give all my focus, and 9 times out of 10 when I'm playing a video game, I am not completely focused on that one video game. So
sure. Yeah.
I played a lot of the little stuff, but the last 2 that I'll talk about are Final Fantasy 15.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm on chapter 6 or 7. I haven't played it in a bit. Overwatch tends to chew up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about that game. It has a lot of unique, interesting, fun elements, and then like driving around in the car and listening to music. That's fun. Even if it takes like 3 or 4 minutes, that's kind of fun. And you can stop off and do whatever you want, whenever you want. Then there was an entire chapter where they took the car away from me, and I had to run around on foot.
Did you rent a chocobo?
No, because when I
oh no,
they didn't tell me to.
Yeah, you have to beat the Behemoth quest, and then you can start renting chocobos, and then like that's the way you play that game after that.
Oh, because I beat the Behemoth, and it said you can have a chocobo for a day. I was like, cool, and I went and did some side quests. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back in my car. That automatically brings me to my next destination.
But here's the thing:
where I ride a damn chocobo. Where I have to constantly tap X to go faster, but not too much. Like, it's like, I'm gonna hit this thing on auto, listen to some Final Fantasy IV music, and fucking chill.
Here's the thing though, the chocobos in the car actually work together really well. Like the chocobos are the car sticks to the road. The chocobos are your way to move around faster when you need to go deep into the wilderness when you're not near your car. And you can just summon it whenever, so it's super helpful. Like you always want a chocobo with you.
But then like having it be rented and cost money,
that's lame. Like I don't
makes
mind
sense.
it. Yeah.
That makes sense in in the world, it doesn't make sense as a video game.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a really good example of the rest of that game. Of, like, I love the combat, which was something I didn't think I would like
it's
back
fun.
when I tried it at E3. Like, it's fun. It's like being able to warp into a dude, just you knock him over, or you hit him on the side, and he's blindside damage, and then he's knocked over, and then you get extra damage, bonus damage for hitting him when he's down, and then your bro comes up, he's like, I'm gonna help you out, and you're like, yeah. But then they stick you in like tiny caves, and there was one cave, and the caves are somewhat intricate, and like you can come in on the ground floor, and then you go up to the next level, the second floor of the cave, and you can still see the ground floor. Like, you can fall off, and then there will be a battle up there, and then I will warp strike, and it will miss, and I will fall off.
Yeah, that sucks.
And so there's a lot of those, just like, there's a lot of missing the warp strikes, even though I'm targeting where my camera is looking, but my guy is facing towards me or to the left, so he goes off to the left.
Well, you have to lock on when you warp strike, but
I locked on. I feel like I'm locking on because I'm doing what I do normally.
Yeah.
That hits warp strikes. There's a lot of little. It's like a really cool combat system, and then maybe not utilize. Like, so much of that game feels like a PS3 game that they said, okay, well,
totally,
we're making it for the PS4 now. How do we make it better? Like, make some of this environmental stuff look better. Make this food look dope. And then instead of a turn-based system, we'll just have you free roam your attacks. That, like, it feels like it made that transition. And it's still fun to play, and I should sit down and just try and beat it one day.
Yeah.
But it's just... It's also very repetitive, and I've started to get to the points in the story where I don't know what's happening, and I know that Chapter 13 thing where everything just runs off the rails is coming up, so it's like, I don't really want to hit that and just have it lose me completely. But I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I checked it out, because I used to really love Final Fantasy, and then at some point it lost me. And it hasn't had me back since like 10.
Yeah.
And even though I've tried some of the other ones, and I've always wanted to go back and beat some of those, like 13, I just never have.
Don't play 13.
Yeah, I've heard mixed.
It.
I've played some of it, and I liked, and just like this, I like parts of it, and then other parts of it, it's just, I don't want to do this anymore, and that's what this feels like. Especially when like Japanese games and especially RPGs have kind of come over here more often, like Persona. Like, those games now exist here, whereas Final Fantasy isn't king anymore. Yeah. So it's a weird game. I'm glad I'm playing it. Maybe not glad I've spent $60 on it, but
Yeah, same. I'm on like chapter 3 right now, and I've spent so long like away from it and just playing other things that I'm just considering maybe waiting until that big story update comes out and coming back in there.
Yeah, it's thankfully like not a lot of some of the battles aren't so complicated that you need to like staying away from it doesn't hurt you. But then there's some battles where it's just like, oh, I have to throw this fire magic, which they have never taught me to use, but they kind of told me about it.
Yeah, it's
I have
weird.
to throw this fire magic at this barrel to kill this thing, but I can't aim at the barrel. I can only aim at the thing, and if I use it'll hurt me. It'll hurt me and my duders here with me. Like, so much of that game is strange.
Yeah. It doesn't do a great job tutorializing things, even though there is a straight up tutorial there, but you can easily I just straight up skipped that and picked everything up as I went along, and it's been going pretty well, and I actually kind of enjoy playing it that way a little more, because then when you find these things, you can experiment with them, see exactly what works, know which things are renewable, which is for the most part that like everything, and then just like toying around, finding new stuff and getting better at the actual combat, which is cool. It's a neat game.
I've been mainly discovering stuff by like the unlock trees of like, I look at the end of them and it's like, oh, I'm intended to do this with that thing. Okay, cool. I'm intended to like parry more. Like I'm not intended to just find the enemy off by himself and just like decimate him and then throw electricity into the group. Like I'm actually intended to utilize the entirety of the combat system. But we can move on. The last game I played was Mini Metro. Which is I don't know if anybody here has played it.
I have not.
I've heard of it.
It's a really cool little puzzle game. I think I've played that the most in the past few weeks. It's very like simplistic art. It is a white, or if it's a night mode, black. It's a white background, usually with like water, like some sort of blue river. Depending on the city, the river will be a different design. So like New York, it looks like the New York rivers. I think London's is very straight and like rounded edges, but it's very straight because of how modern that city is and how like much it's built up around the river and they've controlled the river. I think like Osaka or some other city, it's like striped, so it has its own art to each city, and all you see are shapes. You start every time circle, triangle, and square, and you have to draw using your mouse like a line, and that line will be a subway line. And circle is a stop, triangle is a stop, and square is a stop, and each circle people want to go usually to triangle or square, and then triangle wants to go to square or circle, and then you are just trying to, as these stops pop up and more people want to go to different stops, you're trying to build the most efficient subway line. And every week you survive, you get to unlock something. You get to unlock a new, a different line, so you have more than one subway running. You can unlock carriages, which pack more people into the subway cars. You can unlock, depending on the location, like essentially bullet trains that move much faster. You can unlock more tunnels, so you can go across rivers more times. And it sounds like super simple, and it is very relaxing to play, but there's also this pressure of time constantly like moving, and you have to like, there are times where it's like, oh, everything is falling apart. This beautiful subway system I just made is just collapsing. And then you just pause the game, delete all your lines. It's like, oh, this will be perfect and efficient and like they're all loops, which is the most efficient. And you hit play, and then it just like collapses. Like, oh, great, none of that was smart. But it's a great game. Like, it's just a good little puzzle game. I don't know how much it is right now on Steam. I think it's $20, and I got it for $10. It might normally be $10. I don't remember, but it's a great puzzle game. It has a lot of different locations, some of which are like much harder than others, like some where you won't last more than like 2 or 3 weeks. It has an endless mode. Which just means if you get up to a certain volume of customers, you unlock something. And then it has I forget what they call it, like a hardcore mode, where when you draw the line, it is permanent. So normally you can, if you draw the line and then a new stop shows up, you can like drag the end of the line to meet that new line. You can do that in hardcore mode, but you can't drag the middle of the line and change it, which you can do in normal mode. So hardcore mode is just like your decisions are final. Like once you build those imaginary tunnels underground, that's it. You can't move them. So, and then you can only unlock those by meeting certain conditions in normal mode. So it's for like people who get really into it. And then there's daily challenges and leaderboards. I've been like semi-addicted to it, of where I open Steam's like, oh, what should I play? And then my hand just right clicks and goes to Mini Metro. It's like, oh, I guess I'm playing Mini Metro for 30 minutes and then ending it, and then 10 minutes later saying, what should I play? And my right hand goes and right clicks and I play Mini Metro. So cool. Yeah. But that's been about it.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your journeys with us.
You're welcome, John. And next time, you can come on the journey with me.
Oh.
We can go on a journey together. Join us, John.
Do you want to hang out sometime?
No. Sorry. No.
All right. Ryan, I'm going to talk about me real quick because I want to build up some more suspense.
Yeah, by all means.
Because basically all I did was I just played more Yakuza.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, really. I don't know. Went and hung out at a friend's house, and we ended up playing some other stuff, but, nothing really crazy, just some fighting games, and I wanted to show off some Doom. So I played some more Doom, and I was like, yeah, Doom!
Yeah, Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, Yakuza's still amazing. Like, as I keep playing it, I just do more and more side quests, and I'm just like, God, this game is funny as shit. Like, I can't recommend it enough. Please go read my review on the site if you are not decided. But I do recommend playing Yakuza 0 a lot. I played a little bit more Final Fantasy VI as well.
Nice.
I got past the part where you're defending the town, and like Kefka is like storming the town. But as soon as I finished that part, my Vita died.
Oh no!
So I have to do that. I have to do that again.
Oh damn!
Yeah, my Vita's battery's like really bad, so I might actually. It probably won't be anytime soon, but I'm still considering pulling the trigger on just buying another Vita and getting that like nicer one with like the nicer screen.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna be the motherfucker that. There's a good chance that I'm gonna be the motherfucker that buys a Vita in 2017.
You're single-handedly keeping the Vita alive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, unless Nintendo all of a sudden goes, oh, hey, you could play Final Fantasy VI on Switch, then I'll be like, okay. Alright, we're good.
You can play on Steam like I did.
But I want to carry it around with me. I play RPGs on handhelds. Like, unless it's only available on a non-handheld device. Because I like to just, like, wander around the house and, like, listen to shit while I'm grinding.
Sure.
Me too, man.
While I'm grinding levels, you pivot.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ryan?
John.
How are you doing?
Good. I've gotten back into the swing of being in classes again, so that's something. I've been playing a lot of games, actually. For the first time in my life, I think I have more than 3 games to talk about on this podcast.
What the fuck?
Just because it's been so long. But I won't spend too much time on many of them, because I played a big game this last week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty significant release, I suppose you could say. I'll just go ahead and get into it, because I don't really have much else to say about the games that I played since the last time I was on. I played and finished, I might add, Resident Evil 7 this last week.
Biohazard.
Yeah, when you start the game, is there like a deep voice that goes, Resident Evil?
I can't remember, but I want to say there isn't.
What?
Because I remember thinking it was weird, but there might have been. The problem is that once I finished 7, I started playing the first one, and that one definitely has it.
Oh, so, yeah, it does.
Yeah, maybe I'm just conflating those two in my mind, but I guess I'll just crack into this informal review of RE7, because I have a formal review coming to the site in the next few days. That game is very good.
Yay!
Cool.
Yeah, it's excellent. To begin the review, I will say, going into it, I had expected that game to be longer than it actually is.
Yeah.
When they were advertising the game, I feel like they sort of intimated that it would be around 17 hours or so, like most Resident Evil games tend to be. Once reviews started dropping, people said that the game was 10 to 12 hours. I beat Resident Evil 7 on my first playthrough in 7 hours and 34 minutes.
Oof.
The whole game.
So, Ryan, are we going to be seeing next year GDQ?
Apparently there are people out there who are already doing it in 2 hours. So,
Yeah.
probably. I was caught off guard because when I stopped playing the other day at the 7-hour mark, and I thought I was about halfway through. So imagine my surprise when I booted up my PS4 today and played for half an hour and just finished the game, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That kind of caught me off guard, to be completely honest, because I had been expecting it to go on for much longer. But considering how long I played that for, that game is fantastic. I thought the first 5 hours of that game, which I guess would be the first 2/3 of it, were fantastic. It all takes place... The first 2/3 all takes place on that Baker estate, the Chainsaw Massacre family and all that. And it's really spectacular. It reminds me of what I know of the first Resident Evil game, where you have this huge, sprawling estate that just sort of unfolds itself like a puzzle box in front of you. And it's really engaging to sit down and work your way through this environment, especially when you constantly feel like somebody is breathing down your neck when you're playing this game for the first 2/3. The last third moves away from that briefly, but by the end it comes back to it.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying my best to discuss this without spoiling literally anything. I will say that this game, as expected from the promotional materials, is pretty disconnected from what I think most people consider the Resident Evil franchise to be at this point. There's, you don't have your Jill Valentines or your Leon Kennedys, and most everything in that game is played completely straight. There are a few moments here and there of winking at the camera. There's a part where you pick up a photograph of Lucas Baker and you inspect it, and the flavor text says something like, "You don't recognize this guy, but he looks like an asshole." And during one of the later scenes, or not later scenes, but in comparison to the beginning of the game, you pick up a chainsaw and you're in a chainsaw duel, and the other guy just goes groovy when you pick up the chainsaws, and I'm like, oh my god. But that game is appropriately terrifying. The first 2/3 of it are... Once you move outside of the area of the estate, before you come back to it, it loses a bit of its tension, I think. It kind of takes what you begin the game knowing and zooms out a bit and kind of starts connecting the proverbial red string on the corkboard of the narrative in a way. And I like it. I like it conceptually. I love where the story goes in that game. I think the story's fantastic. I heard a lot of people complaining about the ending. Well, not a lot of people, but a few people complaining about the way that game ends. I think it ends great. I didn't have any qualms with it. But as it sort of zooms out on this narrative, you start losing a little bit of that intense atmosphere of the first 2/3. And that's not to say it's not still scary, because it is, but it stops being this brilliant survival horror masterpiece and just starts being a very good Resident Evil game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I didn't there was not a single part of that game that I disliked, but some parts of it are just better than others. And you run that risk with like anything. And there is in a couple places some plot threads that I feel don't really get resolved by the end of it. But most of the experience of that game is just so fantastic that I was not disappointed by it. In retrospect, I'm glad that it was a fairly short game, because I don't feel like they could have sustained the atmosphere of that game for much longer. I even remember once you move out of the Baker estate, I was thinking, because this was the point where I still thought this was like a 14, 17-hour game, I was thinking, how could they possibly keep this going and have this be the halfway point? But it wasn't really the halfway point, it was more like the 3/4 point. So, in comparison to how long that game actually is, it keeps it up admirably.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, there's nothing to complain about, in my opinion. It's very classic, or I guess new classic Resident Evil controls that reminded me of 4, where, you know, you have to point and shoot, you have the back joystick circle button to do the 180 turn.
Oh, nice.
You have a very small inventory space in that game,
Yep.
but it's not too big of a deal. You expand it, I think, maybe 3 times. And it's interesting because that game doesn't have a merchant or anything. You don't buy upgrades, you just find them. And you can collect these antique tokens that you drop into bird cages at the safe rooms to unlock stuff. Like, it has a little coin counter on it, and you find these antique coins in the environment, and you drop them in, and you say, like, you find 5 coins, you can change them in for a steroid shot, which permanently boosts your health in the game.
Oh, nice.
But there's no heads-up display or anything. It's all very abstract. It is kind of a very back-to-basics survival horror thing where you're trapped in this house. You've got puzzles that you have to solve. Every encounter in that game almost feels like a boss fight because you're so under-equipped for most of it. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like a lot of the tension in that game comes from, and running away from this killer family of Louisiana Bayou people. I don't really know what else I'd like to talk about ahead of my review. If y'all have any specific questions about it, I'd love to answer them. So, yeah, go ahead.
So it sounds to me like everything you say here sounds a lot like an older Resident Evil game. And that gets me very jazzed up because I love those old games. The only one you played before this is 4, right?
Correct.
You just played 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I just played 4, and I started the PS4 port of the first one earlier today as well.
Which is like a straight up remake as well. They redid everything, but also changed a whole bunch of things to like keep it fresh for people who know that game.
It was on the GameCube originally. Then it
was on the PS1, and then it got ported to the GameCube.
I'm saying the PS4 port was originally the GameCube remake, is what I'm saying.
Yes,
so
that's it. Yeah, so. Yeah. That really gets me interested in this. Like, every single thing that you say, including stuff like, oh, people have already beaten it in 2 hours, that just gets me way more excited for this game. And
it's...
I've also heard other things along the lines of like, oh, it makes straight up mention of stuff like the really abstract puzzle stuff and Resident Evil 7, early Resident Evil games, and like streamlines them. And to me, I'm gonna ask you this and see how you feel. Do you feel like this is the sea change they needed, where instead of doing the thing they did with 4 and going off the rails and going forward with that, which clearly by 6 didn't really work out for them, they're like they straight up went back to basics. They went back to earlier games and they iterated on that in smart ways.
Here's my opinion on this, and I don't want to drag this on too long because I will have a review up on the site.
Right.
I personally think that Resident Evil 7 is a fantastic sort of reinvention for the franchise for 2 reasons. The first one is that it returns to this back-to-basics, people in the house, puzzle box layout, and it transcends that in a lot of ways, in the way it improves upon that, in the way that it's just genuinely terrifying for most of that game, at least in my opinion. The second reason I think it is the change they need, and you might consider this a spoiler, but maybe not, is there is virtually zero explicit reference in that game to any of the Resident Evil mythos.
I've heard some stuff from that's like pretty direct.
No. There is I will say a lot of it is implied, and if you have played the franchise or are familiar with the franchise, you will pick up on it. At the very end of that game, they do kind of the Marvel post-credit scene. And I mean, it's not a post-credit scene because it happens during the physical ending of the game. There are direct references to the Resident Evil mythos.
Gotcha.
But every part of the plot in that game, in terms of its relation to that larger universe, is adjacent and secondhand in a lot of ways. And I think the way they handle that is brilliant in that game. because you can probably guess from the subtitle Biohazard, sort of the...
That's not a subtitle, that's the Japanese name of the game.
In the American release, it is canonically the subtitle of the game.
Yeah. Here it is Resident Evil Biohazard. There it's Biohazard Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah. So, like, just knowing the fact that they explicitly set this as a subtitle of this game in America, you get a good sense of what the plot is about kind of going into it, if you're familiar with the implications of the franchise.
Do you think it's more of a reboot? Like,
no.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it like canonically takes place after Resident Evil 6.
Yes. There is a very explicit connection in the last moments of that game, but it's very quick. It's not a reboot per se,
but it is a reinvention.
It is a reinvention, and it could take this franchise in a lot of very exciting places, because this game, just on the promise, even if the last third of this game had blown chunks, which it does not, it's great. The first 2/3 of this game are such a masterwork of horror, in my opinion, that I would still be excited to see where this franchise goes from here. Because I feel with this, they have sort of permanently left this survival action shroud that hung over the franchise in the dust. And they have gotten back to sort of survival horror with that tantalizing taste of corporate intrigue happening in the background. That's what this game is. And, you know, Scott, if you like what you're hearing about this...
I do. I've been like a fucking lifelong Resident Evil fan, so I'm super excited about this game.
I would absolutely play it. Be aware, like I said, the runtime can be kind of short. I don't know if that's just because I blasted through it or what. But,
I looked it up earlier, and somewhere around 7.5 to 10.5, if you're like really taking your time, seems to be average.
Yeah, well, I hit 7.5, so there you go.
I heard one more thing that I had no idea about. Is there multiplayer in that game?
Not that I know of.
Really? That's weird. I don't know where I got that from. I think I read like Resident Evil 7 multiplayer somewhere on Twitter, and I was like, really?
I will just wrap this up as fast as possible because we need to move on.
Sure.
At the end of the credits of that game, it teases an upcoming free expansion mode to it, which may be a multiplayer thing, but in the base game there is not. It's not like Resident Evil 4 where it has a bunch of extra modes to it it's just like the main game.
I have one last quick question too.
Okay. Then we can move on.
Is the demo that they released part of the game, or is that something completely separate?
Half and half.
Okay, so it's sort of like the Pokemon demo where it's like it used stuff from in the game but recontextualized it.
In the game, you will go into that same house and you will see the same videotape that they film in the demo, and that's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Anyway, so that's Resident Evil.
Yeah. Okay. I was just gonna say if I wanted the full experience, I should play the demo and then the game.
Not even. You don't have to.
Sure. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Resident Evil 7. It's a great game. I will have my review up on the site for that pretty soon. And John, I will toss stuff to you so we can move on with our lives.
Thank you. Yes, let's move on to news. It's been a bit of a week. There's a lot of stuff that we can cover. So let's start with Michael. How about we start with you?
Hello.
Michael, what news will you bring to the table?
Aw, snap. That's the only transition I came up with.
Okay.
Yeah, was it good?
Is this like the Switch presentation?
God, I wish. Fuck.
No.
I could just snap my fingers and all of you would change it to different people with video games that I want to play.
Yeah.
Michael, really how about you talk about your news, please, and try not to transmogrify us?
No promises. Remember how the Xbox One had this like snap mode? You could say Xbox Snap, and you could watch TV and like a third of your screen would be taken up by this terrible tray, but the TV was only in like a quarter of that fucking tray, and then being able to switch between the TV and the thing you were actually playing was nearly impossible, and the only way to get it to unsnap was usually by saying Xbox unsnap, but you don't have your Kinect plugged in because you're a human being.
Yes.
That's going away.
Really?
Yes. Thank God. So, the ill-conceived, good idea at one point, piece of turd that it is today, is finally disappearing off the Xbox One dashboard in the coming months. Microsoft announced this via one of their employees' Twitter feeds, that they're getting rid of it, and they're going to use the extra compute space to make the UI quicker, and to make everything run a little bit smoother, which... The Xbox One, I mean, I haven't turned mine on in a little bit, but the Xbox One is a little chunky. It's like a little, it's a little slow. It's a little, it takes a little bit to get your, you gotta like snap a little bit, you gotta wave your hands, jingle your keys, and you say, oh, hey, you want to go to the store? All right. Takes him a second. So, but he finally gets there. It's like a bird. It's like a bird who doesn't like you. But you need it. But you're like, hey, look, I put water and food in your dish. He's like, huh? Anybody ever own birds? Just me.
Absolutely.
Holly don't want a fucking cracker.
Holly eat this jam cracker.
I can't even imagine owning a bird as a pet. They seem like heinous beasts.
They're nice.
I had them when I was a kid. They were fine. They were, they seemed like a mess to take care of.
Yeah, they're messy.
Like, just their entire existence is creating mess.
Yes.
That have to clean up. But yeah, that's it. They're getting rid of it, and the Xbox is going to be slightly better. I hope it at least makes it I just want to like perceive the difference. I want to be able to see like, oh wow, it's just 10% faster, but it's better. That's all I want, because there's a lot of things the Xbox does right, and that is not one of them.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Scott, what news did you bring to the table?
Speaking of birds, Overwatch has put out its new seasonal event, Year of the Rooster, which celebrates the Lunar New Year. It is between January 24th, 2017, between February 13th, and contains 124 exclusive cosmetics, seasonal loot boxes.
Are you selling me fireworks? What is happening?
Sort of. It is the Chinese New Year.
You sound like the firework commercial.
And an exclusive new brawl mode, Capture the Rooster, which is like a Capture the Flag equivalent. I've seen like mixed things on it. Like some people who are like really good players like it, and a lot of more casual people tend to be like, "Oh, this thing sucks. Why would they do this with a game that's not built for it?"
So I tried it, and I don't look. I don't consider myself a professional Overwatch player.
Since when?
But since right now, no. But, like, I feel like I play that game semi-regularly with my pals. I tried that Capture the Flag thing. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
The maps are too small, in my opinion, for something like that. And that's the main issue, it's just because the maps are too small.
Yeah.
I tried it as well, and it's really easy to defend it, and you have to engage as a team to, like, break the defenses, and I like that sort of that push and pull of like, well, I can't just be Tracer because I'm incredibly weak, and you can't just go and grab the flag. You have to stand on it for a bit.
Right. Oh.
So the games I played, there were only really like, I think of the 6 or 7 times I played, the one kind is like a complete stalemate where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Where maybe they grab the flag and you grab the flag, but you don't get far. Because someone plays a Symmetra and you walk into the turret room.
Yeah.
Or it is a complete just wipe. They either overrun you or you overrun them, or you occasionally get the like actual competitive, wow, we both have 2 flag captures, like we're both doing pretty well, multiple different strategies, what could happen? And then, someone wins. Like, but it's usually just, this is boring. This is kind of like, this character doesn't really work well in this situation. You almost have to just figure out different strategies to it.
I was looking at this Wikipedia article about it, and it says the whole main event brawl, or the whole event brawl takes place in Lijiang Tower, which makes sense because it's a Chinese themed event. But thinking about that map and the way it has like pretty like secure choke points, that's got to be miserable, especially with a game that has so many like people dedicated to defense.
Yeah, there are multiple maps though. Playing the capture the flag.
There's like 3 different Lijiang Tower maps. So
yeah, I think it's all 3 of them. And then they expanded the spawn point.
Oh,
so it's not a ship. It's like you're in this big room that has all kinds of new stuff in it. Yeah, so you spawn like if you don't spawn farther back, you at least have to go around to the side to get out the door.
Right.
So it maybe adds like a bit more of a delay, so you aren't always just running in, because as soon as you run out, there's your flag.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. So I think if you were to spawn normally, you would just be on your flag, and it would be too easy to
that
just
would be miserable.
jump out. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It sounds interesting. It sounds like a thing that could really, really work if they have way more time and balance put into it. Just give it a little bit more balance, just a tad more balance, a lot of balance, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So one more thing that came out of this update that I want to talk about. Let's talk about May. She got
it's gotta be May.
She got a couple new skins, and she was significantly thinner than most people thought she was. And,
she also had an ass like a fucking...
Well, I'm getting to that, don't worry.
Treasure chest.
So, a lot of people saw these new May skins, thought they looked really cool, and then, oh wait, she has like a literal hourglass shape, like 2 centimeters wide. It didn't make any sense. And then when you turn the model like 15 degrees, you see like horrendous shelf ass on May. Just like a terrible shelf ass, a whole flat surface, a plateau that you could have a picnic on. And like a lot of Overwatch players pretty rightfully pointed out, hey, this thing is messed up. And that was like, that became a whole thing for a bit. A whole bunch of people came out of the woodwork to say like, oh, it's like, she's just canonically thinner, like you guys don't get it. And it became like a weird debacle for the last 2 days. Everyone yelling at each other about body image and stuff. Takes. And then eventually Blizzard came out and said, oh yeah, that's a bug. We're going to fix that in the next update. And, hopefully that silenced a lot of pretty nasty people who took this as an opportunity to really get out there about some really heinous stuff. But it was a pretty wild last few days. Just trying to follow Overwatch.
You're telling me.
But that's
takes. Here's my hot take. It's totally not an overreaction. Here's my hot take.
The takes have been very bad lately.
Oh yeah, it's been a time for
They've
takes.
They've been very bad.
But that's a story about May's horrendous shelf ass.
Thank you. Ryan, would you like to please talk about something that isn't May's ass?
Absolutely. So, y'all know that company called Square Enix, right? Made a lot of games like Kingdom Hearts Coded and World of Final Fantasy.
Hell yeah.
Those great AAA titles.
Those 2 and nothing else.
Yep, pretty much. Anyway, this company, Square Enix, has gotten together with a little independent publishing company called Marvel. They make those superhero comic books you may have heard about.
Spawn.
And,
yep.
Yeah, everyone's favorite superheroes. Cable, Squirrel Girl.
Keep going.
Fucking
great, yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Listen, anyway.
Dr. Doolittle, really
Dr.
good.
Fuck.
Yep.
Dr. Fuck.
Oh, it's been a long day. Okay, anyway.
Doc.
Square Enix and Marvel have partnered together to make a big stable of assumedly console games coming out over a multi-year schedule. The first of these is being referred to as the Avengers Project. We don't really know a whole lot about it. The game is being developed by Crystal Dynamics with help from Eidos, Montreal. Is that how you pronounce it?
Eidos or Eidos. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Eidos. What are you going to do? The press release claims that the...
Just keep going.
The press release says that the game is being, quote, designed for gamers worldwide.
Finally.
And will include plenty of characters, environments, and iconic moments that have thrilled longtime fans of the franchise. It will feature a completely original story and will introduce a universe gamers can play in for years to come, which makes it sound like it's going to be an MMO.
Listen, marketing copy is always shit, and that sounds like shit marketing copy.
For years to come.
That makes me feel like I'm gonna die, so let's stop reading this, please. I beg you.
Okay, well, they also released a trailer which looks like everything else ever released for current Marvel movies, where all the Avengers shit is sitting in a pile of rubble, looking all busted up, and somebody's doing a voiceover about how they have to reassemble the Avengers, which seems to happen like every other week for the Avengers. They get broken up and they have to reassemble because of Thor's bitch-ass brother who everyone on Tumblr wants to fuck. But
they're all pissy as hell, and I hate it.
Yeah, anyway... The rest of the details on this game are supposed to come out in 2018, along with other specifics on the rest of the games they'll be working on. So I'm assuming that Square Enix at E3 2018 is going to have a shitload of Marvel stuff to show off. Maybe around then we'll hear more about the supposed Spider-Man game that's coming out. Even though there's not a whole lot of details about this, it's interesting to see Marvel swing back from all this mobile development they've been doing recently and sort of enter back into the console market, because they've got this, the Spider-Man game, and the upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Ooh. So I guess we're going to be seeing a lot more superheroes than we're already seeing over the next few years. So, great.
From what I can guess, when I'll touch upon this shortly.
Yeah.
But once Disney kind of fizzled out their own like game sector, and shut down all those companies, they started to reach out to other companies to make their games, and that includes Star Wars and Marvel. Yeah,
because there's all those Star Wars games that are supposedly in the works.
Yeah. So I would feel like maybe Insomniac just like had a Spider-Man pitch, and Disney were just like, let's do that, and let's show it at E3, so you have to do it.
Well, but Disney doesn't own all the rights to Spider-Man. It's licensed out to Sony.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, Sony also has that, but
which is why it's probably exclusive to PlayStation.
Maybe
they also own Insomniac, don't they?
No, they don't. Okay. Sunset Overdrive is on Xbox. Remember?
Right. Yeah. So I assume that has to do with a lot of that deal. And I know Spider-Man is being added to the Avengers, but
that's because Sony let them.
Yeah, let them. And Marvel still owns that IP, but the license still exists, which is why X-Men probably won't be in the new Marvel vs. Capcom, because that's a Fox thing. Same with Fantastic Four.
Sure.
So it's a rat's nest of stuff. But this is a good start. I like Marvel stuff. Marvel Ultimate Alliance were great games, so I want more of that stuff.
Yeah, I definitely want to see, like, superhero games are fun when they're not rushed out to meet a movie.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a new Avengers game, especially from Crystal Dynamics. Like, they are a talented team, so that would be really cool to see just like an action game with the Avengers.
Yeah.
No, I'm not averse to that.
Yeah, and with
I can see it being something like that.
Yeah, and with help from the Deus Ex guys, like that's like I don't necessarily personally like Deus Ex, but that puts together a picture that could be a pretty good video game.
Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be open world. You're gonna climb towers.
Oh boy!
Reveal the map.
Alright, so speaking of the companies that Disney shut down, y'all remember Avalanche Software?
Yeah,
Not really.
Yes.
that was the people that developed Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
So,
I can see my Disney Infinity figures still in the box, even though I don't own the game, sitting inches away from me.
Nerd.
They're
so
cheap.
yeah, they were. So Disney. So when Disney Infinity got shut down, so did Avalanche Software. And instead of just going away like we all thought it was going to, all of a sudden it has been reopened under Warner Brothers Interactive, and they are now making the Cars 3 game.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so I guess this must be some kind of like holdover, because supposedly it says in this article that I'm looking at on Polygon.com is claiming that this Cars 3 game was originally the work started back when Avalanche was owned by Disney.
Uh-huh.
So
That would
this
make sense.
Yeah, this must be some kind of holdover that Warner Brothers must have just been like, you know what, finish it. You can, because according to this article, they will start making non-Disney games in the future. But for now, they're gonna finish Cars 3 and they're gonna get it out by the time that Cars 3 comes out, which is this summer.
They must have just swooped in and said, "We'll buy the studio. You keep the IP. We want these assets. Finish this game."
Yeah.
Which, if they're able to finish that game with, I mean, I don't know how many months of downtime they actually had, but that can be significant in a game. And who knows how many of those people like left.
Sure,
But
yeah.
if it's out by summer, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, isn't that Cars 3 movie about someone dying or something?
Yeah.
I only saw the teaser trailer, but someone was
Yeah.
like flipping over,
I
and he's the
don't
main
think
character.
I don't think Lightning McQueen really literally dies, but it's just that trailer saying things
man
are gonna
can dream.
change, and then Lightning
can
McQueen
dream.
flips over and fucking wipes out and dies, and like Mater is crying and
No, Mater lost love of his life in Lightning McQueen, and he just goes off and lives in a cave, and no one ever sees him again. So I don't have to hear his voice.
Fantastic.
I saw an official synopsis of Cars 3, and it is literally going to be about Lightning McQueen complaining about millennials.
Yeah.
Oh no! Please no! You're joking, right? This is a kids in the hall sketch, right?
I am dead fucking serious.
Yeah,
You're
I've
gonna
read
have to-
this too.
You're gonna have to show me that after this show.
It's
But-
bad.
Yeah, like
Shit.
it's literally all the old cars thinking that the newer cars are too uppity and that they should be more
All
like
right.
the old cars.
All right, nope. I'm done having this conversation. I'm gonna get angry.
There's like an evil car that's like super a millennial, and he's just like, "Oh, I need people to pamper me all the time," and it's just
Boy, I
what
can
the-
make some jokes here. I'm not gonna make.
My NASCAR participation trophy.
I love to participate. No, stop.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's move
so
on.
I actually have one more piece of news, and funnily enough, this is depending on when you hear this, this is going to be
Oh, right.
some pretty big news.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna know about this by now, but there's gonna be another PAX.
What happened to the old one?
It's still around.
Which one? South, no one goes to. East and West are too crowded to even get a damn ticket.
Corky's down at PAX South right now, and I almost went down there to go with him. So
Like I
not
s-
even sure.
So,
Like I said, no one
No one
goes
goes.
to it.
so this new PAX is going to be called PAX Unplugged,
Ooh,
and it has nothing to do with video games.
Oh, cool. Is it just like acoustic guitars, like the MTV Unplugged?
That would be nice, but
That would
no,
be good,
it's-
because that show was good when it first aired.
Yeah, but no, it's gonna be all tabletop games. This is going to take place in Philadelphia
Yeah.
on the
that's a
weekend of
city.
November 15th.
All right.
And that's
wonderful.
Kinda it.
That's the news.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I kind of thought that might have been a bigger deal.
We're definitely going to hear more about it as more info comes out. But like at the time we're hearing about it right now, it's still embargoed, and we're not supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, I got my news.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's oh no, excuse me, it's a November 17th to 19th, and it is taking place this year. It is starting this year.
Sick.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long to put together a convention. 2 years.
I mean, especially when you run packs of all fucking things. You know?
I just, I find it weird. There are other tabletop conventions or conventions that focus on tabletop. I think Gen Con is pretty primarily tabletop stuff.
Yeah.
So it's pretty weird that this is in Philadelphia with PAX East being in Boston. And that's relatively close.
But also they're different conventions.
Sure. I mean, well, PAX has tabletop. Like,
sure.
If you go, when I went to PAX East, years ago, half of the floor is tabletop, and the other half is video games. So, does this mean the other PAXs will have less tabletop?
Maybe PAX East will have less.
Well, but I think the
others won't be affected.
And I don't know. I have so many issues with PAX. As just as an event, having nothing to do with Penny Arcade. Like, I have a lot of issues with PAX and how it conducts itself, and some of the things they focus on, and some of the things they don't focus on. And this just seems like the focus is in the wrong spot. Let's add another one we can sell tickets to in 5 minutes in the shittiest way possible. Yeah, it just and I understand that picking host cities isn't easy, but maybe PAX South and PAX East and PAX West should move around a bit. And maybe PAX South should be in Atlanta next year, and PAX East should be in New York next year, and PAX West can be in LA next year. Like, if the goal of Penny Arcade Expo is to bring the E3 kind of feel, the whatever, pick your private video game convention, if it's supposed to be that, but for the regular crowd, the unwashed masses, then make it like that. Don't, because the more they do this, and the more they wall this off and make it these isolated events, even with a bunch of them happening, the more it just makes it that only people who can travel to Boston every year can go. That's not everybody. Like, it's easier for everyone in Florida to go to Atlanta. That's like an hour flight, if.
Yeah.
But Boston's different. Like, Seattle's a different kind of flight. That's maybe triple the cost, so... And it's, I don't know, I feel like this is a very good business decision. Yeah. And I can't blame them for that. And I love board games, so I'm kind of actually semi-interested in this, if it actually does well. But, taking a step back and looking at the whole picture and everything they do, I don't understand where this decision came from, other than, we can have another one of these. But board games, so I'm very, apprehensive and just cool on the entire idea.
I get you, definitely. All right, so if we're done talking about Penny Arcade Expos,
which by the way, we should probably point out that's not the name of the convention anymore. Like, they've distinctively moved away from that. I know. So
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just talking smack.
I know. So what's it stand for if it's not Penny Arcade
PAX.
Expo?
It's just PAX. That's what the name is.
It
doesn't stand for anything anymore.
Okay.
Poopy Ass Expo. Thank you.
That's ours.
Thanks,
That's our competing PAX.
Yeah.
In Orlando this year, for 2 days, the Poopy Ass Expo, Dr. Joe Carr will be in attendance.
Oh, he definitely will be.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, would you like to move on to questions?
Sure, you can send in questions. You'll sound like these people do in my voice. You can go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, or if you like emails, you can email us to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, and we'll get those questions too. I totally check it every week. And you'll sound like PSI Kick does, or Sidekick.
PSI Kick.
I don't know, because
I like Psychic more.
is like a clever...
You would think,
Yeah.
but it's a reference to Smash Bros. And Lucas has PSI, not...
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a
Did you see the plane that shoots smaller planes from itself in the new Ace Combat 7 trailer? That was sick, right? If you shot tiny versions of yourselves out of your body, how effective would they be in combat?
Oh boy.
Oh.
There's a joke in here that I don't think any of us should bring up.
I'm a large man. I'm a massive mountain of a man, and I feel like if I shot tiny versions of myself, they would just be like normal sized people.
How effective would they be in combat?
As effective as me, which is none, unless it's with a katana, in which case I'm masterclass.
Less so. And I'm going to add a question on this for everyone as we go around. What orifice would they, or what part of your body would they burst out of?
I would say like the tips of my fingers. They would create a new hole, and it would be painful, and I would hate it.
Multiple?
Yeah.
All right.
Just shoot out 5 at once, and then they die within the next hour.
All right, John.
Let me shoot my shot.
All right, Ryan.
So I feel like the smaller versions of myself would be kind of like gremlins, where they come out
Sure.
and they're like 6 inches tall, but then when you get them wet, they turn into like horrible, like scaly goblin creatures.
Ugh.
I think that as a base, their base stats, they would be fairly ineffective in combat, but in their gremlin forms, they would be much more potent,
Ooh.
I suppose. I would also like to think that they don't come out of any orifice, and it's a total recall situation where they just kind of pull themselves out of my chest, like Tetsuo from Akira or something, where my flesh just kind of bubbles up and they fall off, like reproducing asexually. And then, have any of y'all ever seen Army of Darkness, the third
Yeah.
Evil Dead movie?
Yeah.
You know when there's like the little tiny versions of him in that movie that
Yes.
like dance around and cause mischief? It'd be the same kind of thing.
Disgusting.
We're kind of like developing a new anime right here. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
It's very kawaii.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I
Mine
don't
would
think you
come
know
out...
what that word means.
I just say anime words. Mine would come out of my feet, the bottom of my feet, so that I could
That
grow tall.
sounds like a fetish.
So I could grow taller. They'd be 3 feet tall, and then I could grow taller. They'd be like a ladder. So I can scale really tall buildings.
Sure.
Wow, so we really are coming up with superpowers based on tiny versions of ourselves. Like, all three of us that have come up with something all have a different moveset,
Yeah.
and I really do feel like this is the next big franchise. Like, you know Nintendo's ARMS? This is
Legs,
Knees.
fingertips, and just nastiness.
Chest bubbles. I mean,
teratomas.
to be fair, John did come up with something, so...
I want you to dial that back,
I don't know
Michael.
what you're talking about. Shoeless asks, what would your custom cup contain? I don't know what this refers to.
You're the one who played Final Fantasy 15 recently.
Yeah.
What's the
part
custom
we're-
cup?
We're Gladio,
I don't
Gladio,
think you
right?
got to that part yet.
Oh shit. Okay,
What's
so
the
there's a
custom
part in
cup?
Final Fantasy 15 where you see a cup noodle stand, and Gladio's like, something came to me when I was alone last night. And he's just so excited about cup noodle, and he's like, we need to make a custom cup and put the most delicious ingredients in our cup noodles. So, what would be in your custom cup?
All right, I'm gonna need a second.
I kind of have an answer for this.
Yes.
About a week ago or so, I went to a place in Austin called Ramen Tetsuya,
Ooh.
and it was the first time in my life I had ever tasted real ramen, as in ramen that does not come out of a microwave cup.
Yeah.
And it was a religious
Yeah,
experience.
real ramen kicks ass. It's the best.
We got it, and it came in a pork broth with mushrooms and a big slice of tender pork belly and one of those delicious fucking ramen eggs in it. It was heavenly. I want to go back there as soon as I possibly can because it has been in the back of my mind all week. I have been thinking about this ramen. The egg, I forget what it's called. It's got a name for it, but it was so soft. It was like putting a delicious buttery pillow on my tongue. It was eating an egg-shaped cloud. My life changed. I could not believe it. I also got a adult beverage, which was a frozen sake with blackberry and lemon mixed in, like a alcoholic slush, and it was delicious. So to answer the custom cup question, I'm not very exciting. I guess I would just do really good traditional ramen stuff like egg and pork and mushroom and such.
Which by the way, cup noodles is not real ramen in like the slightest bit.
No.
Yeah, see, that's all I've ever had. So to me, it's just like, I see it, it looks delicious when I see like real ramen, and I just like, I don't know, chicken maybe? Carrots?
Yeah, because
does carrots go in it?
I was really apprehensive going in to try it because I was like, what if I don't actually like real ramen? Because I'll just be thinking about cup ramen for the rest of my life. And after trying that, my first thought was I can never eat microwave ramen again for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That was so good.
John, what's in your custom cup?
I think in my custom cup it would have to be some delicious chicken.
Is that like chicken?
It's chicken, but it's the way that I said it was funny.
It's the kind that dogs eat.
Yeah. It's KFC chicken.
Yeah, it's the kind that they're not legally allowed to call chicken.
Yeah, it's wings with the Z.
Yeah,
Like,
the Y and
chicken.
the Z. Yeah.
Anything else or just chicken?
No, I mean, usually when I go to ramen places, I like to get, I do like to have the chicken in there, but, just pretty much any kind of, like, nice, soft, tender veggie that doesn't overpower the taste of the broth is always welcome. Like, I will eat pretty much anything that you put in a ramen bowl as long as it melds well with the taste of the broth and the noodle.
All right, Scott, moving on.
So I would,
okay, that's fine.
I would take a standard cup noodle cup, like the just the preserved stuff. I would, I think I would cut up some strips of honey glazed panko breaded ribeye steak and just put that, throw that into the cup, and then boil it over some lukewarm Mountain Dew.
Great.
Cool, you're disgusting. Moving on.
Gamer's paradise.
I do need to try real ramen. That's like a goal.
Absolutely.
Y'all should
thought about it.
all fly out to Austin and I can take you to a good ass ramen place.
I think there's ramen places here in Tampa.
Yeah, but that gives you an excuse to come visit Austin, and we have more food than that. So
You're my excuse.
Oh, great. I immediately regret my words and deeds.
Anonymous asks, with the release of the latest Final Fantasy, do you hope to see more games use the road trip as a story device?
Oh man,
Yes.
that would be cool.
Only if the boys are as hot as they are in Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
That's
If it's not a group of sexy men and a photographer.
So I guess we're all kind of just waiting for the Village People game then.
Oh yeah, duh.
I'd play
Holy
that.
shit.
Yeah.
I would play the hell out of that.
What if they remade the Warriors?
That'd be all right.
It was after the movie, right? Mm-hmm. Except for all of the United States was like New York, subdivided with gangs, and you had to road trip around from city to city.
Oh my god.
Being a badass gang.
I would die.
Didn't
they have a Warriors game for the PS2 that was based on the movie?
It was
Apparently
pretty
it's
good.
really
Rockstar
good.
joint.
Yeah.
Apparently it's really good.
Interesting.
Play that.
I played it a lot when I was younger. I really like that game. That is a very good game. You know
Yeah.
what's a really weird thing about it, though, is that they put out a PSP version, which was also very good, but exclusive to the PSP version, they also made a side-scrolling beat-em-up based on Warriors that's, like, in there. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's a very good game.
Yeah, I know they put it on the PS4 network recently, and I kind of wanted to play it.
Yeah, let's give it a
Yeah,
shot.
you should definitely pick it up. It's awesome.
Okay.
I want a planes, trains, and automobiles game, and I want the Muppet movie game.
You know what would be sick, actually, is like a straight-up Cannonball Run style thing.
Yeah.
Like a whole bunch of people going across the country. Oh, that'd be like just to get some gold. Oh fuck, that'd be some good shit.
I want to say they made a game like that, not Cannonball Run, but like
It doesn't need to be
just
like
took the idea.
licensed.
Yeah, I want to say they made something like that.
Probably.
I mean, the best road trip game has already been made, and I, of course, am referring to Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors Desert Bus.
Which is a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, when are we gonna get the "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World" game? But you know,
Yeah.
This has just turned into name road trip movies.
yeah.
Oh,
Clearly, there need to be more road trip games.
Well,
the fact that there's only one.
what's the name of that Britney Spears road trip movie?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Make
I
one
have
of
a
that.
GIF on it somewhere on my computer.
Get it on the Nintendo Switch. Play it on the road.
Anonymous asks, what game needs to see play on the competitive circuit?
Melty Blood.
It sees some play.
Oh, you know that Melty Blood's played all over the world, especially outside.
Yeah, outside in a
KFC
hotel
parking
room.
lots.
Yeah, dumpsters,
Next to the Eiffel Tower.
utility closets. Anywhere that isn't some sort of hotel lobby.
Yeah. I'd love to see
no ballrooms.
I'd love to see like a masochism tournament where all they play is games like Civilization 5.
Oh, God.
And you just titanically slow games, then they have to sit there for the whole
It's
time.
just like
to
a
play
straight
it.
up marathon. That would kick ass, actually.
Civ
Basically.
5 tournament would be so good.
It would be
Yeah.
great.
It would take like 3 weeks, but it would be amazing.
They'd have like 8 games running at once, and then they check in periodically with each. Just like
Yeah.
a poker
would
tournament
actually
go.
die.
Yeah. Ah, that'd be
I
good.
have a real answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, actually.
That'd be pretty.
That'd be
that'd be
cool.
alright, yeah.
That game was really fun to play with a group of friends of 4 people. You go online and you get to play, like, you do 1 round as survivors and 1 round as the special infected, like the smoker and the hunter and all that, and then the tank. When you had a group of 4 people and they were not like friends, they were just randos thrown together, it was so satisfying to just one of your friends smokes one of them, they all turn around, and then the straggler gets hunted, and then someone like is the boomer and just runs up and vomits on him, and they're just screwed within like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That is just a weird, and even when you aren't like necessarily coordinating, it's because you can like just how that game is made. It was very satisfying to do that stuff.
I vividly remember the first time I ever played an online match in Left 4 Dead 2, which by extension was the first time I played an online match in any Left 4 Dead game. I got spawned into a game that only had about... I forget if they're timed, but I seem to remember it was right down at the very end. And I spawned in as a tank, and I went up a flight of stairs, and turning the corner was the last survivor, and I hit the charge button, and I just remember I ran at them and tackled them, and we flew off the balcony onto the opposite wall, and I just started pummeling this person over and over and over while while like the blood came up on the screen, and I was just like, holy shit, like that was brutal.
I don't know why those games are forgotten, or why Valve kind of let it be.
Yeah,
I think there's already a lot of Left 4 Dead clones out like right now. Like Vermintide is the one that a lot of people are going to, but also when it comes to that style of game, there's really only a set amount of strategies you can do. You can't do like really crazy sick shit. It's just hey, you overwhelm them or you don't. So
and that Rainbow Six game kind of has that kind of... It's a different objective, but has a similar feeling, I guess, to it.
sure.
You know what else tried that?
Evolve.
Let's not discuss Evolve anymore and move on to the next question. Anonymous asks, will Spider-Man be in Kingdom Hearts 3, and what would that look like?
Yes, and he's going to be way too realistic for his own good.
Yeah, it'll be like the Pirates of the Caribbean level from 2 all over again. you'll get a fucking web keyblade that has the spider ball webbed mouse as the keychain on it. So you have to look at that for the whole game.
Webbed mouse.
Thanks.
Oh my-
I think Anonymous asks, are there any parts of daily life you wish more video games featured? I really like that you could have lunch with your coworkers in Deadly Premonition. Can barely speak.
Every example I had to throw out for this question was already in Deadly Premonition. like the driving around in the car and talking about movie trivia. That's me every day of my life.
Having to shave, having to change your suit to make sure that nobody thought you were smelly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very, very relatable.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like straight up morning routine stuff in games, like having to pee, like maybe trying to get it directly in the bowl. Maybe that could be some kind of simulator game. Maybe it probably is already.
It definitely is.
I feel someone speaking through me. It's Niall. Niall is whispering 2 words in my ear. David Cage.
Hi.
Yeah, we're definitely flirting with trouble here. Like Swery does this well in that it's like super goofy and it rewards you for doing it. But if we don't land into the absurd, we just end up being David Cage. So we need we need more Deadly Premonition stuff. We need less David Cage stuff.
How many games have like captured just sitting down and being on the internet well?
None.
Sims.
Well,
but that's not like something you engage with. That's something your little sim does. I think that could be something that's interesting. Just like getting your morning internet in.
I feel like there are several games that repeat the process of sitting down at a computer, not necessarily like checking the internet. But Orwell does that. Hacknet does that. What was that one game that a lot of us liked last year? I don't remember the name of it.
Valhalla?
No, it's different. Last year, or the end of 2015. Her? No, that's a movie.
Her Story.
Oh, Her Story. Thank you. Yeah, that was sitting down at a computer. So that's similar.
Those are all the like do specific tasks though. Like this is just
Well, I mean,
getting on there to kill your time. Yeah, totally.
Last question comes in from Anonymous, and again, you can send questions. You'll sound like my voice coming out of my mouth by going to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, or just email to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. And you can ask questions like this one. Any thoughts on games like Skylight Free Range and Life of Black Tiger getting on the PSN store? Is PSN going to become the new Steam for shitty games? Yes. That's my answer.
I don't know like any of those games.
I haven't heard of either of those games, but I feel like it's inevitable. So
the
my
first
answer is
one
yes.
is a bad Vita game, and the other one is a bad mobile game that I think came out on Android. And if you Google either one, it just like the first one looks like a joke game, and then the second one just. If you Google the second one, the articles that come up are like, "This is the worst PS4 game I've ever played in my life."
Yeah.
So
great.
PSN store is they just gave up. They're selling like premium backgrounds and themes that have big corn on it.
Yeah, which I purchased. Corn Love Forever is incredible.
Yeah, it is. I have Corn Love Forever as my PS4 background.
Right now I actually have this really good Indivisible theme that everyone should grab because it's free and it's super cool. But Corn Love Forever is also a magnificent theme that was totally worth the $4.
Having spent time like sifting through the PSN store, there's a lot of stuff in there that you find it like, oh, what's the deal of this week? And you just look at the very last page, and it's just, what am I looking? This is, and sometimes it's like costume packs for this game you've never heard of. It's $80 for 4 costumes. Like, what the fuck is happening over here?
Yeah.
I guess they don't care, and maybe Xbox does it as well. Their store is just a shit show to even fucking try to navigate.
On the other side, it is like, that's not a bad thing either. If people that means like these platforms which were typically unheard of last generation to get your game on, if you were a small studio, or way more accepting of that, so you could potentially reach a bigger fan base, which is nice.
But doing so by like taking advantage of people. and scamming them out of money is...
I don't mean like that. I mean like actual good games that haven't had the best opportunities like getting out there.
Sure, but that can be done different ways than just making your store the dredge of society.
Yeah, but it is nicer when you're a small developer to say, hey, my game is coming to Steam, PS4, and Xbox, instead of just, hey, it's on Steam now.
Yeah. Great, the shit is everywhere. That's it, no more questions.
All right, thanks so much for reading the questions, and thank you all for listening to this podcast. Again, check the website. If you haven't read my Yakuza 0 review, that's there. Probably by the time you hear this, Ryan will have his Resident Evil 7 review up.
Yeah, it should be
ready.
out pretty short order. So,
and we will keep posting new articles as time goes on.
And videos. We are going to start doing videos a bunch more. I'm going to kill people.
Yeah.
Just in general, that has nothing to do with videos.
Look,
I'm gonna crack the whip. Start yelling at people.
Yeah, we're gonna get videos out there.
Again, yelling at people is separate from videos. I'm just gonna walk out in the street.
It's just what you do for fun.
Yeah, I live in Florida. It's like that or meth.
Good stress relief. But thanks again for listening, and we will be back next week with yet another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast.
Oh, you know it.
All right, good night.